Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leading Up the Band with my amazing two co-hosts, Meg Star and Rachel
Hey,
Black from
what
Belena,
up?
and Virus Box from Again and Forever. And sorry, last week I take full responsibility. I injured playing soccer. Yes, I know what a singer is playing soccer. The answer is getting injured. So let's move on to that. So I apologize for that. Thank you for all our followers. Actually, I received notes in Instagram asking that where we were the what was the podcast. So I need to give explanation to some people. I got exciting news before we start. We are presenting these three people. I mean, we haven't closed with Meg, but I know she's gonna do it because our management haven't get to her yet. I'm gonna do this publicly, Meg, and you can say yes or no. Think about it. We just got invited, the whole record label, to play in a convention in Cincinnati, November 1, 2, and
Oh,
3, and we're gonna play there. Belena again and forever. And obviously, you need to be there, Meg. It's gonna be a great convention. It's called One Weekend at Horrorland. The point is, like, they invite us to play there, and I think it's a really cool. It's the horror genre, and Goosebump Crew is another podcast of friends, and they have this amazing Kickstart. And well, let's see the promo.
Hello, fellow fans. It's your friendly actor Amos Crawley, and I've got some electrifying news.
You've asked for it, and now the Goosebumps Crew podcast wants to deliver.
And you're in for a scare because the Goosebumps crew is proud to announce one weekend at Horrorland.
The biggest Goosebumps convention ever.
But here's the thing, we can't do it alone. We need your support to bring this dream of ours to life.
Calling on all passionate fans to join forces and donate on Kickstarter. With your contributions, we will transform this convention into a hauntingly unforgettable experience.
Our special guests, panels, and activities for fans of all ages will immerse you in an exciting and spooky atmosphere, sure to get you into the spirit of things.
Including some of the guests who've appeared on the Goosebumps Crew podcast.
Together, we'll conjure an atmosphere that will give you goosebumps.
By making a donation, you become an essential part of making this extraordinary event a reality.
And as a token of our appreciation, the Goosebumps crew has prepared some extraordinary gifts and rewards exclusively for our backers.
So, mark your calendars and join us on this frightful journey. Head over to our Kickstarter page and let's make One Weekend in Horrorland the ghoulish event of a lifetime. Thank you for your support, my fellow folks.
So there you go, guys. That's the promo of Weekend in Horrorland. Get your tickets, get your donation to Kickstart. We're gonna put the link down there, and yeah, we're gonna be playing there. So if you like amazing good music with these fantastic people around in this podcast, well, there you go. You got the opportunity. Now let's go back to our podcast. Today we have a special uh, topic to talk about, and we've been going all around that because that's what this podcast is about. But we're going to talk about how the producers are involved in our lives, in our art, and the result of good and bad experiences. Like I said, we talk a little bit about it, but we're going to go a little deeper in the how the producer goes deep in the soul of the artist, or the touch that exact fiber of the artist to produce a good album. So okay, I'm gonna let you say hello before we start. So how are you, Meg Star?
yo, what up? I'm good. Working. Working on some music. Deep into Pen Wars right now, so I've just been making like a song every 2 weeks.
That's
Um,
fantastic.
but yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
No problem. Rachel Black, how are you, Mrs. Black? How the Balena project is going?
I'm doing good. Yeah, doing pretty good. Can you hear me? Sorry, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can
I
hear
hear
you.
you,
Okay.
baby.
Yeah, we
I
can we
hear
can hear
you.
you. You sound really good. Everybody's sounding really good. I'm not listening to myself now, and now that I listen to myself, I realize how fucking annoying voice I have. I don't know how I can be a singer, but let's. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So,
Not the
who who
self-hate.
want
Come
to
on,
start?
lift
Who
yourself
want to
up.
start with the topic? Somebody want to share something about producers? Not when we are producers, when we've been produced by other people. Um, should I start? I'm gonna start with this. My first producer after I went out of the boy band and before I make Route 69, he was a really talented guy. I don't know if he's still alive. His name was Federico Elizondo. But I learned a lot of things about him, good and bad things about him, because I remember I needed to travel from the north to the south of the city. I was probably 16, 17, and then went to his apartment in the south of the city. Well, he's a studio, and it wasn't an apartment. And he still recorded in tape, right? Because he wanted that feeling. It wasn't digital. Of course, after recording tape, it was gonna go to digital, but he liked, to recording tape. And this guy was really well known in the Latino pop community. He was a guitar player from a guy called Christian Castro. He worked with Luis Miguel. He worked with Ana Gabriel. I mean, the guy was really famous. But suddenly I started to realize how the life and the intentions and the experience of the producers get involved in your songs. I sit down with him. He teach me how to write a song, how to segmentate the verses and the pre-chorus and the chorus, create a good structure. That was a good thing. I mean, I remember him with Kurt, but however, he was doing cocaine every 2 seconds in front of me, like bad. Like I'm talking about, he got his. It was probably 11 a.m. and he got his drink, the crystal table, lines of cocaine, and I'm sitting in front in a couch, and he's like talking to me and doing whatever they need to do, and even I was exposed to alcohol and drugs, right, before in my career, right? It wasn't that normal and clear, and in the middle of production, so it's like, oh, we're gonna bring a great bass player to play in your song, and a bass player come and they start drinking, and I realized that part of being an artist in Latin America, let me be clear with this, is that they're always drunk because they need to feel, they need to share their experiences. I'm not criticizing anyone, I'm just saying how it was. And at the end, we record 3 songs that gave me an access to a record label. BMG got me after that because Federico Lizono sent it to Jorge Chiu, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity. But it was a trip how to understand the bohemian life, if you will, right? Because they weren't doing to get crazy and addiction. They were like being bohemian. So we started working around 11 a.m. and we finish around 2 a.m. every day, right? And they're continuous doing drinking, laughing, then getting back to the song. Then they laugh again. Then they make a joke. I mean, of course, it's a long time ago. However, I'm not justifying because nowadays when we talk about it, everybody goes like, oh. But no, I want to invite everyone to understand that Dali used mushrooms to get involved in the thing, right? Van Gogh was hiding heroin all the time. Picasso was drunk every day, and it was a system that the bohemian people needed to do, and the producers were like that. And I'm talking about 90s, I guess, in the 90s. And please, let's not act. We are over here in the States. We have Chris Cornell and, Linkin Park. Well, Linkin Park probably a little later. Pearl Jam, Nirvana. God, I mean, how many times Kurt Cobain was so messed up in the studio, right? Or in the stage. So it's a part of what it was, the bohemian thing. But I learned about that, but I didn't want to follow that path, right? In that, specific how they become bohemians. But I start drinking, and it not crazy like them. I swear nobody can drink like those guys. But the way that they needed to enhance their abilities, numbing their brain was really weird for me. So that was my first experience as an independent singer with a producer, and he cost me like, I don't know, people back in the day, like $1,000 per song. And you gotta understand that that was a long time ago. Like I say, we were recording in tape, on tape. This wasn't digital. I mean, auto tune didn't existed. You know how they tune my voice? You guys gonna love this. You got idea how they tune my voice? They grab the tape and with a lighter. Yeah, that's how they. That's he teach me that. Caruso,
The
remember
cane
the
trick.
opera singer? So what they do, they put the lighter, and it's like a machine, right? It's not like it's like a little machine. They put little fire, so they pull the tape, and that will make the note go high. And if not, you compress it with more heat, and it's gonna go low because the tape is burned. That's the nature of autotune now. The nature was, and they've been doing that with artists since forever. Uh, Back in the day, not a lot of people, but at least they did that with me. And God knows I sing really bad, really bad back in the day. So I needed that tuning,
Oh my
and
goodness.
probably still do. But I don't. But at least now we have other ones. But yeah, that was my first experience with a real producer. And yeah, that's I don't know if he's still around, but Federico Lizondo, stop drinking, bro. But you were fun. It was fun working with him.
I would
What
hope
about you
that he
guys?
stopped. He stopped
He
doing
was he
those
was
hard drugs, or he might
50.
not be here today.
No, he was 55 30 years ago, so he's probably 85 right now. I don't even know if he's around. I know, life goes, right? Weird.
Really quickly, yeah. Well, you had the rock star experience at an early age, I guess, right?
Yeah, we
Then
can
you had
put.
to pay a lot. You had to support his habit. That's
Well, you
just
know
not
what?
cheap.
Probably, yeah, probably the $1,000, $600 went into drugs and alcohol for him. Now,
And that's when that
he
shit was
was,
pure back in the day.
you know what is really cool? There were some amazing tacos down the studio that I ate every day, and they were amazing. I do not regret those tacos. They were really good. But yeah,
Tacos?
that was
You said
sorry.
tacos? Did you say
Yeah, there
tacos?
were tacos. Like after a session, we went down with the musicians and eat tacos. That was great.
So they were able to eat after doing all the cocaine.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, the perception of how people
Crazy.
go like Scarface. No, they were drinking and getting high and playing, and suddenly there was their normal way of life. The bohemian
Mm.
artist life. It was like that. So it was a way of living in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it
The
was a,
rock star, it's the rock star like persona, really. Like I wouldn't even say just the producers, but the artists too. Like everyone, like I feel like you see the celebrities like at the Grammys and stuff, and a lot of them are at least drinking. You know what I mean? Like
at
at least
least.
drinking. But for
I
the
mean,
most part, yeah, like the drugs are flowing in the music industry from what I've
and
witnessed.
you know what is
Um,
funny? I discovered that was in the 90s, but then in the 2000s, this drug motive or this drug inspiration went to other fields. So it was a time
okay.
at the early 2000s that an architect and a lawyer was getting even high more than a rock star because the rock star act start cleaning.
Facts.
Yeah, start cleaning. It was weird how you go to a bar and the band is totally sober, and then you go and to start talking to the people after you play in a bar. You see a friend playing, and like, you want to hit? I go like, no, man, I'm clean. Oh, cool. What are you doing? I'm a veterinarian. And I was like, what, dude? Right? It's like beds, doctors, architects were doing that. And I know drugs could be, and they are a bad
Bad.
thing.
Drugs are
And
bad.
drugs are a bad thing. That's what
Okay.
I say,
I
mom.
know.
That's what I say, mom. And we all been to
Terrible.
bad things with drugs, obviously. But we're understanding the bohemian life in my experience, not in my perception, like I say, right? I'm gonna talk here about addictions. I'm not talking here about drama. I'm just letting you know that the first producer that I worked with, he was into cocaine and Bacardi, white Bacardi and Coca-Cola. That
Oh,
guy was like, I don't know how he can live the next day.
I
Because we
can't
worked
drink
together like for
Bacardi.
6 months. And the next day, I was exhausted. And I was 17. And he was ready to go. Of course, he was doing cocaine, right? So he
Cocaine's a
always
hell of a
was ready
drug.
to go.
I haven't
Yeah,
had
so
any producers. If they're on it, I don't know. I just don't know. Everything I've done producer wise has been like virtuals. Like I haven't really ever met one in real. The only producer that I've met in real life is my friend Genius, and I actually just started like he sent me a beat just recently, but he was not on it. He was not on
so I
it.
got a question. His name is Genius.
Yeah.
I thought I was a narcissist. His artistic name is Genius.
Yeah, genius with two E's, but he's one
Oh,
sixth
so
of full force. He's like a
so
genius.
he's a narcissist with bad spelling.
He's not a narcissist at all, actually.
His
Yeah,
singer, his artistic name is Genius. What are you talking about?
it's he's actually the most humble, sweetest man
I'm
I've
just playing
one
with
of
you.
the
I'm just playing
yeah.
with you.
Yeah, I think that, music wise, he's a musical genius. So I mean, hey, I
Yeah.
wouldn't, it's putting that into the universe so that that's, you're claiming that, and it's okay because his actual persona, his actual like him himself is, I'm telling you, one of the most humble, sweetest people I've ever met in my life. To this day,
That's to the day. Hey, what about
to
Rachel
this
and me? What
day.
the hell is wrong with you? Oh, she left. Her connection dropped, Rachel. So it's all you. Bring it.
Oh boy. Um, I'm really picky about who I work with.
I'm
Um,
sorry. I'm so
It's like, okay, okay, we'll not mess with your friend Genius. Okay, we won't
sorry.
mess with him. Okay,
I
hold on.
clicked a button on my headphone. It took me out of here. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm back.
It's okay, it's okay. So you were saying, Rachel.
really picky about who I work with. And when I first started with music, I had no idea what the job of a producer was versus mix and master engineer. And so I thought it was my job to do the producing. And oh man, like, bless his heart. V was, he was the first producer that I worked with. And I always joked. He told me, he's like, "There's going to be a time that comes when you need to like move on because I see, you're gonna be successful." He's like, "But don't feel bad telling him like, are you breaking up with me musically?" he was like, he was like, "No, I'm just saying, don't feel bad." And what was funny is that I went and I worked with some other producers. Horrible experience. You have to find someone that like matches your energy. I'm a gung ho, like, you give me a song, I could have a demo back to you within a couple of hours. Sometimes you have to do that for sync licensing. You have like a 2 hour deadline and you got to come up with lyrics and record all your vocals and doubles and harmonies. So yeah, wait, I don't want to say that. I'm like, is that bad to say? We have this joke that we're both just as mental as the other person is about how we work. So only I have the vision in my head. I can't articulate it. He takes my skeleton of the song and then accomplishes what I hear in my head. And every other producer that I've worked with just don't quite click, you
Well,
know?
you're gonna have a different click with any producer, but yeah, you're right. They got the idea and they make it better, and then they bounce it back to you, and then you put a little input. I wasn't that free at the beginning, because I was just learning, right? I jumped from a boy band to nothing, and like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I thought it was an easy thing, right? I got out the boy band. You're gonna have a success right away. Nope. But then everything I learned with him, you know what? I was thinking now that you were saying things. He wasn't my first producer. He was my first professional producer. But the guy that introduced me to Federico, it was a guy that I know he's fine. He's not too much older than me. His name is Horatio Portales. He's actually the guy that I wrote my first hit with. I remember now because it's a long time. We went 3 days a week with Federico and 2 days with Horatio. And at that time, I get out of the boy band. My family didn't want me to pursue the singing career, so they kicked me out of the house. So for everyone listeners there, that somebody tell you can't do that, you actually can, right? You actually can. You just need to be stubborn as hell. And they kicked me out of my house, and I remember that I went and I slept in Horatio's couch in his studio, that it was in the upper part of his house, and I slept there like 3 months till I finished the album and I went back to my house. Well, not the album, the 3 songs, and I show it to my mom and my brother, and they say, "Yeah, you can't come back to the house, right? You don't suck as much." And then I start doing some. My first show, holy shit! My first show as a solo artist, and that's another kind of producer, because then you have your manager dash live producer. So at that time, I have zero resources. Like seriously, guys, zero resources. So back in the day, because I was singing pop ballad, right? Like romantic songs. Don't laugh. Yes, don't laugh. I was wearing a suit, a three-piece suit, black with a purple tie, a purple, the how you call that, the little Hancock thing,
I don't know what
purple.
it's called, but I know what it is.
Yeah.
Don't know the
So I know
terminology.
how it's called in Spanish, but I don't know how it's called in English. And my dancers, my three chorus girls and dancers, that they weren't dancers, they weren't chorus back voices, they were recorded, right? They were my half sister and two friends of mine, that they got the same dress that we bought like super cheap, and they matched, and they were singing in the back. And all the musicians, because they hired me for an event, a governmental event for the senior, right? The celebrating the senior, the elderly. So that's the kindest audience that you're gonna have, right? Because they're just gonna enjoy their days free for the public, probably 4, 5,000 people, but they're all kind. They're all elderly, that they're gonna be happy with it. That's what you think. Those guys could be brutal, like brutal. They were expecting freaking Ricky Martin in her top line. Anyway, so my producer, my live producer, put a routine. We rehearsed. My musicians were my friends. They weren't musicians. It was like playback, but I was singing live, right? And that was scary too. The producers, and I understand they're doing their job, but they expect you to go from 0 to 100 in between the two steps that you go into the stage, 0 to 100. And then you got to deal with the producer of the event, that they tell you be here 2 hours before the event. First, come here to the sound check 7 hours before. Then you're gonna be here 2 hours before, and then they told you, you know what, you're gonna open, and then the main event. That motherfucker, I'm gonna say clear, was famous in that moment. Was a famous singer called Coque Muñiz. He went and said hello to me, really polite, and then he went and said, "I'm going before that guy." So my first show, they sent me as a main event, because he didn't want to stay longer. So you know what that pressure is for a 17-year-old kid in his first show as a solo artist? So you got to deal with the line producer, with the stage producer, with the every producer is gonna bring something to your life, and as an artist, could be good, it could be bad. Thanks God, my sister, who was my light designer, and my older sister, so she wanted to take all the hits with my stupid manager that I had back in the day. Right? He was really bad. Now that I'm older, I can realize how bad it was. But yeah, the producers are gonna. It's like you are the train, and the producers are making the road for you to walk. They could be great architects, and they're gonna get you right there where you wanted to be from the beginning. But they can be crappy builders, and they're gonna feel it falling into a freaking uh you know hole if you don't choose the right producers. But yeah, I'm glad that you girls have only good experiences. Of course, you're younger in the industry than me, right? But I really hope you keep that good vibes and hoping. I understand that this age is different. Back in the day, everybody flirted with you. Everyone tried to hit on you. Guys, girls, older, younger, everyone. Uh, and now that is over, so that creates a really good space for the safe space for the artist. The 90s were complicated because everybody wanted to keep surviving pop, but they they wanted to follow the trend of the grunge everywhere. The 2000s was good for music. The 2010 is probably the worst in music. So, with the born of the reggaeton and all that really bad. Probably hip hop did really good, right? In 2010, Meg?
Hip hop's always been good. In my opinion, it's gone downhill after 2010, but that's just my
Okay.
personal
No,
opinion.
no, no, no. Please
Yeah.
share because I don't know in that area. So that's what I'm asking. Yeah. So you think 2010 it went down?
As far as like the quality of music,
Yeah.
in my opinion, yes. I mean, I'm not, maybe like Gen Z has a different view, but like I've mentioned before, what I grew up on hip hop wise was very much into wordplay, cadences, like clarity in the words, things like that. And now it's like mumble, fuck this, bitch that, suck this. It's just, in my opinion, like the artists, like there's a lot of industry implants. Call me
Yeah.
crazy, but I believe that like Ice Spice or Sexy Red or any of these, newer artists, I feel like they just kind of got implanted in and they're like all over. Social media is huge, right? So if as long as they're prominent on social media or like these
Mm.
pages like Shade Room and Baller Alert are pumping them out, Genius, XXL are pumping out these artists and feeding them to us, it's like it almost becomes normal. But in my opinion, it's not normal. Like the music is not good. I don't allow my kids to listen to a lot of the newer stuff that's come out because it's just raunchy. It's not okay. That's why I said I try to keep my music like in with what I was influenced by and kind of bring back the bars. Bring it, make it okay for me to put my song on, turn it up, and not feel bad that kids are listening,
Yeah.
Sure, some songs maybe not, this for little kids, but even if like my song Witches in the Trap House, the Coven remix, my verse on that, it's a little dark, but it's really not that bad if my kids listen to it. It's really not. Like I don't feel like it's gonna taint them or like alter their minds or make them, like brainwash them into like, what's going on in hip hop right now. And again, this is my opinion. If you like
Oh,
Sexy
that's
Red and
fine.
Ice
And
Spice,
that's
by all means, pump that shit, bump that shit. Let's go. But I don't think that the the true artistry of hip hop and rap and wordplay and lyrics is there. If they even write their own, what if you call them lyrics? I don't even. It angers me actually. Some of
that's
these
good. That's
songs.
good. Our
Yeah,
fans
but
love your passion, and I agree
thank
with you.
you.
I
I don't
agree
know if the
with you.
producers are. I don't know what's going
They're
on. I don't know.
involved. Hip
But I
hop
believe
is
it's Illuminati or something. They're gonna come for me now. But like, I don't know what it is. Industry implants. That's or industry plants, whatever it's called. That's what I'm seeing.
You know what
That's my
song I
consensus.
really miss from the 90s? And probably for a hip hop artist like you, it's really lame. But I remember Naughty by Nature, and I love that freaking group.
Yeah, Naughty
Remember?
by Nature is cool, of course. Naughty by Nature, that's some music I grew up on. Again,
Yeah, Hip
even
Hop Hooray was like the song for me to play basketball. I love that song. Hip Hop Hooray! Oh,
I bet you
yeah.
still play it. You still play
No, I haven't listened. I just thinking about talking about this
it?
with you girls. I get into my mind. I haven't heard that song in so long. Believe it or not, I rarely when I'm doing an album, I do not listen to other music. I don't want to
Me
be
neither.
influenced for what is going on around. I
I
must
do what
confess that
comes
I
naturally to me.
yeah,
Like you are tapped in. Why would you let an outside influence
I
like
don't even
change
like
what's
other bands right now.
natural?
Exactly.
Yeah,
If I'm writing a script or writing a book, I do not read another book for influence. It will change my pattern, and I don't like that. I do that a
I feel
lot.
with you.
I don't even know, besides Belena, obviously, what bands are playing right now in metal. I do not care if Bad Omens release a new album. I do really don't give a flying f. What I see in social media. But the other day I was talking music with Rachel, and she told me, "Have you heard this?" I go like, "I don't know who they are." Have you heard that? I don't know who they are. I really
That
blocked
sounds like
myself.
me with hip hop artists now. Like people were like, "Oh, you know this?" You know, I'm like, "No, I know like Biggie,
Yeah, you know
Nicki
why? Because
Minaj." You know, like
we
that's
are
what.
artists. We're not fans. If I wanted to be a fan, I don't do music and I just enjoy it. Now, every artist
Yeah.
has their different process. Now, let me tell you, the new album from Eminem is something that I don't think it land too good for people, but it's gonna land better in a few years. I actually like it.
I haven't heard
Have
it,
you listened?
but I love
Yeah.
Eminem. So
I mean, I just saw again social media, and I Google a little bit. I haven't listened to the album, but the new single is good. It's good, and the concept
Houdini.
of the all, the concept in the video I saw again. I just see a little thing because I follow Rolling Stone and all that in the social media. A little
Yeah, I've seen clips on
this,
social media. Yeah,
yeah.
that's kind of like how
That's the only
I
thing I know
consume
about.
anything these days.
And what about you, Rachel? You want to share something with us? You're really quiet today.
You
Let me
know,
tell you,
I just,
everyone, Rachel is traveling the globe, so that's why she's so tired and so quiet because she needed to set up everything for to be with us today, right?
yeah, I packed all my gear, well, most of my gear, and my little getaway, and yeah. So, but I've got a lot of work to do. So there you gotta bring stuff. That's just the nature of what it is to be a creative and be a business owner and all that stuff. Um, no, you know what's actually interesting is it depends on the scenario for me because I don't just write music for myself, right? Because I do sync licensing. My own personal my own personal music is a huge like my influences. I will right before I'm getting ready for actually any project. I do the same thing for all songs that I'm writing. I'll make a playlist and it'll be one element or something like that that I really like about that song, whether it be the the emotion in the vocal delivery or the drum line or this guitar riff, something like that. And I'll just kind of tune everything else out and just soak in just that kind of music for a couple weeks. So I had this task. I was hired as a composer to write a video game album, right? So if you've ever, and I'm not sure if you guys know what League of Legends is, but they actually have like they team up with really big artists and they do really cool because they it's like almost like an Olympics opening ceremony for like their world championships. And so they have these artists collaborate with them and like Lil Nas X, is that what his name is? Lil Nas
Yeah,
X?
Lil Nas X.
Thank you. Okay. I was like, I don't know if there's an X or not. So he
There is.
collaborated. One of my favorite bands, Paris, did. So many cool like opportunities for people. But so one day that's a goal of mine. That's a dream is like to one day like open world ceremonies because it really is like Olympics, but for League of Legends players. It's
That's
awesome.
cool.
But we had to write similar fashion. So they're like EDM pop style. And I was like, what? And I felt so like cheesy writing. Like, how do you write? Because for me, lyrics are like the most important thing in the world. And I was like, I don't know how to write about like, like I'm gonna win and I'll be the best and blah 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 blah. So I
Yeah,
found
because
a
League
way
of
to like
Legends for the audience, League of Legends is a PC game that is huge in the world. When I say huge, is like
that's why I said it
huge.
was like Olympics opening ceremonies, like
Yeah,
that it's
yeah, and
that big.
it's huge. I got a friend that plays League of Legends every day for the last 10 years. Alexander Sakal. He comes to the podcast from my other podcast, Toon Talk, all the time. We call
Yep.
him the Oracle, and he's playing. Meanwhile, he's doing the podcast. I mean, the guy is obsessed with that. People got obsessed with it.
It's insane how the world's championship goes, like literally, like the best of the best. and it's like they compete live, and there's this huge arena. I'm telling you, like the size of like Super Bowl. That's what they do
Yeah.
Whoa,
for the opening ceremony or the Olympics, that
that's
big.
crazy.
So I
So
guess you need to get influenced what is going around because,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna sound a little weird, but that's a big problem in the industry. It's not yours. It's like then a marketing guy needs something for his product, and he wants something that is sounding like the things that are in the radio, and that's in a way good for the artist because it's gonna generate money, but it sucks because that guy is asking something that in the future is gonna damage the creativity of the real artist. Why? Because there's bands that I respect, like you respect the old, the OGs. Meg, I still listen to Meshuggah, and Meshuggah is still strong for people today. Bled from Meshuggah has almost 20 years old, at least 15 years old, and they were complaining that it was too rough back in the day. Till the day you listen to it, and it's strong. Has that influenced me as an artist? Yeah, today. But I don't. It's hard for me to listen to think. But I get your point. When you are called to do a job, you got to do
Yeah.
it. I don't compose for projects because they invite me to do music for theater, live theater, and they told me, "Hey, can you do the music?" I go like, "Sure." Can you be there as a technician? I go like, "No, dude, I'm not an engineer. I'm a composer." Yeah, but we need somebody to do both. I say, "Well, go fuck yourself. I'm not an engineer, right?" But I get it. People, we as artists, we gotta be submitted to the necessities of the audience when you do the things that you do. Personally, I mean, everybody that knows me, you two are my friends. They know that I just music because I want to, right?
Yeah.
Even the
Yeah.
record label that I'm with right now, if they tell me that they want me to do a commercial song or what song to do, I will just flip them and go away from the contract. I'm in
So you
that point
can't
in my life.
you can't do both. You can't. So I feel like with sure if I'm doing something solo for me, like independent, I don't like to be influenced. But if I'm like have to fit a vibe or like, hey Meg, can you write a K-pop song? I will literally do what Rachel said and like engulf myself in K-pop for like 3 weeks so I can like figure out what's going on. And I can like mold a chameleon. I can mold myself
yes,
into that and I would be able to write something like that, which that's like a true writer. Like if you can put yourself in that position, if you can like imagine, if you could, tap into that creativity, you could do both. You know what I mean? And I think
I
you do
I mean,
that, Rachel, with
we're
Valena and then
capable.
also with your sync licensing.
yes. That's so
We're capable to do that. But go ahead, Rachel.
I literally had I had the opportunity. I'm allowed to talk about it now, um, but there was a last minute, and this happens often, 2 hour deadline, and they said we've got these tracks. We are sending them like directly to Tiana Taylor. They said, and we need vocals and lyrics. This is her current life situation, so it needs to be relevant. What did I do? I took about half an hour to sit down and go through song by song and read her lyrics and how she would go about it. Do I do R&B and that kind of stuff? No, never. But my song got accepted and it got sent to the label, which is pretty cool. But like,
That's
no,
awesome.
I've never done that before. But that's where I love doing sync licensing and this because I feel like I get to, like the little teenager in me who used to love pop music, gets to do that, and then the metalhead in me gets to do my actual dream, which is Valena. But we also
That's
do
dope.
push genres. We like to paint outside the lines. I am not a
Yes.
color inside the lines person. I'm like, if I want something like one, okay, Remedy, your favorite song off the album. It has trap hi-hats. And I was like, no, no, V, this has to go. He's like, trust me. I said, He pretended like he changed it, but he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, and that's integrity of every talent. I support the way that you do it. Me, I'm a stubborn bastard. When the single moment that and I'm gonna, hopefully I don't come across like a stupid asshole, but I probably will. When I decide that my band wasn't following the path of progression and mental advance that I was having in, I just kicked them out of the band. Period. Why? Because and now that the people that they're listening what I'm doing right now, modesty on the side, they call me a genius, right? I mean, you saw it, Rachel.
Oh, so you
They're
can call yourself a
no, I'm
genius.
not.
Okay.
Let me be clear. They call me a genius. I don't think I'm a musical genius. I think that I do complicate things. However,
Yes, you
I
do.
feel good, and I show the demos to my ex-members of the band, and one of them I don't talk to him anymore. But Setse, hello Setse, the bass player, he told me, bro, now I understand what the fuck you kick us out. We're not even there. I mean, we're not even there. I couldn't when you show us the demo from a song that we were talking. I'm not allowed to say what song is gonna be, but the song that we're talking before the show, Meg, right? I showed them the demo and they told me, no, I can't do this. Why? Because it sucks. I go like, why are you saying that it sucks? You see, Rachel listened to it already, and they
Yeah.
told me that it sucked. Actually, they were reflecting. They were reflecting instead of saying I don't understand, I don't have the capabilities and the ability to do it. I'm gonna talk to you, and that goes to some producers. The producers can be like that. I respect if somebody can. First of all, let me go back to you, Meg. If somebody asks you to do a K-pop song, I will pay the double for not to taint your talent. Don't do K-pop. You'll be fine. Please don't do that.
Not for me, but if I had to write it for someone, I
I
love
pay
to
you more.
write.
I pay you more. Don't taint the world, please. You are good the way you are. Don't do K-pop.
I'm writing a K-pop song today just to fucking fuck with you.
No, no, I really believe that you can do it, but your brain is magical. Don't.
I call
You're
it
good.
genre hopping and genre bending, and I actually don't like to stick myself in one genre. That's facts. Like
Really?
even oh
And
yeah, like
I like
e-
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll as
I
long
did
as
that
I can
before.
like the beat, I'll jump on it. I have a song, I have an alternative song where I rap on the beat because I got little traps, to go hi-hats, like you said, trap hi-hats. It's got it in there. So if I could feel it, if I could get with it, if somebody sends me a song and they already have their lyrics, they already have the concept, I can fit that. I can put myself in someone else's
And I'm
position
not
and write
doubting
from
your
that
talent.
perspective.
I'm not
Yeah, I
doubting
like
your
to do
talent.
that.
I know that you guys can do that. I did that. I passed. I right now I got recorded 82 songs. I have bossa nova songs. I got big band songs. I went, I mean, Rachel listened to some of it from pop to bossa nova for orchestra. And I get what you're saying. It's not the capability to do it. Is that after so many years, now that actually doing exactly what I want, I don't want to taint the real thing. And if somebody called me right now and tell me, hey, can you make an arrangement or a song for freaking Ariana Grande? I will just think about it before I even jump into it. Because and I'm gonna sound an ideologist, that's how you say it in English, right? I really think that the artist goes to different processes. You are in that stage that you can make songs for other people. Meg, you're in the stage that you can be called to do anything. I'm in my more obscure and more processed area as an artist, right? Before probably I'm gonna change after this album, but if you listen to Year One from Again and Forever, it's an album that is collecting a lot of grunge, a lot of hard rock, a lot of new rock, some twitches of metal, but this new one, the polyrhythms that I'm using are hard to understand for a musician that they're way better than me because those guys are good. But I understand what you're saying. I mean, I choose nowadays not to be music for hire nowadays. I don't know. Maybe like I say, if they call me to do an album for Ariana Grande, I will might say yes, and I will have to call you two girls to help me out because I don't even
Now,
know
see,
what the hell
I
she
wouldn't do
sings.
Ariana. I, I wouldn't
I
even
will do
try
a
Ariana Grande.
I will do Ariana too.
She
Oh, you
does
mean the
her
album?
own.
Yeah.
She does her own composition. To be honest with you, I've watched her in the studio. Like I've seen snippets, and it's actually super fascinating to see how she layers and stacks all her vocals. and says, no, run it back. I don't like this. Okay, run me in again, do this. She is in full control of
Yeah.
like putting all those like different levels and layers in the song. And that's why it sounds so amazing.
I
She's
will
super
I will
talented.
love
So Ariana, no, but maybe like
I will love
I
if you come to one of my sessions. Rachel has been in one of my sessions. She got the chance to see Horatio work. How he's good, right, Rachel?
That's an understatement.
Yeah, the guy's a machine. Like seriously. I know that everybody says that, but he records around 5 songs a day for different artists. Five
oh
songs a
wow,
day of different genre. Today I got my
crazy.
session with my guitar player Richard from England. The guy is struggling with the song that I told you, but usually he delivered one song because we write the music, we got charts. So he just played three guitars and one solo in 35 minutes from the whole song. Because they're how you call that? Studio people, Rachel? Musicians?
Session musicians.
Yeah, so that's what they are. So yeah, I think the pace and what surrounds. I mean, you're married, you have a normal good life, right? Make stars, so that is reflects in your music, right?
I
That
would say
that
so.
I probably how I say this. I don't know if this happened to you, and this is a question for you. Sometimes I push the button in my personal life, so I got the inspiration to deliver the song. I don't know you guys do that. Sometimes in the past, I argue with my girlfriend, not because I wanted to, because I'm writing a song that is really depressed or sad, right? And I push without realizing an argument with her before I go and record it. Everyone that has been my couple in the past, it will understand that that's my process as an artist, and everyone has their own process. I mean, now everybody safe. Remember, my new next album is Chronicles of a Serial Killer, so I don't kill anyone. I promise. I'll be good. I'll be a good man. I
Okay.
promise, Star. I won't. Your husband will
Speaking of
will.
which, Mr. Gemini, happy belated birthday. He's a
Thank
Gemini, guys.
you,
Watch out.
thank you. I
I,
turned 22.
me too.
When was your birthday?
I'm just joking. My birthday's in
Oh,
November, actually, but
oh yeah.
I turned 22 before.
I
One
know.
time, one time I did too.
I
One
mean,
smack.
you know what? The people that underestimate. I'm going to take advantage of society nowadays. I recognize myself like a 32-year-old man, and they need to suck it up and accept me like that. If not, we'll be violating my racist of belief who I am. So
Yeah,
they can
I
call whatever.
identify as a 26-year-old.
You identify as 26. I identify like 32. If they want to deal with that, go ahead, right? So, but yeah, I'm going in this stage through a dark period of everything. That's what the album is called, Chronicles of a Serial Killer and the Last Supper Reimagined, because it's all the beauty covered by the pain of the life of other perspectives to understand the beauty in life, right? Nobody that I know understand good without the taste of bad. Never in
Hmm.
the humankind.
Polarity. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Polarity and balance is something.
Mhm.
So yeah, this album is obscure. I mean, Rachel got the chance to listen to all the demos, and and I don't know, Rachel, what do you think? It's a little dark, right? That was a good statement.
Yeah, no, I honestly like listening to and I've even listened to just the isolated drum track and it's just I love it. I love things like that though where there's time signature changes and there's interesting things and you're always kept on your toes because as a drummer myself, like I typically can predict what's going to come next. Like, when is it going to go halftime? When is the beat going to switch up? When is there going to be double kick? And it's you can't predict it at all, which is so. If it's, I think it's great, and I love that. It's
Thank you.
so. I think that it takes I did one song where I did a time signature change during the bridge, And oh my goodness, it took me the longest time to figure out how to make it flow seamlessly. And I was like,
Hmm.
but I wanted to challenge myself, you know?
Yeah, tempo changes are crazy.
Love it though.
It can either like be really harsh, or if you know what you're doing, it could be like really amazing and cool and artistic, and you're like, oh shit. Like I love when people can challenge themselves and like make something that seems,
Oh, you're
you
gonna
know, like
love this
harsh
album.
sound really good. Yeah,
In the
I
songs,
already know.
in
I already
in
know.
the song, I did 7 signature changes in one song. Without my bass player, he mentioned something that I really like. He told me playing with you is like every one of us are in the same party, playing at the same song, but everybody's dancing in their own style, because everybody falls in one. But the other, I mean, some songs that I'm doing, the drum, he's doing a polyrhythm in one time signature, and the bass is doing a different time signature, but they match in one. So it's cool. I mean, I'm enjoying it, to be honest with you. And I was being fictitious about the K-pop, because you know that I record a K-pop album, right? Do you know that, Maxa?
I feel like you've said that before,
What?
Yeah, I was
but
the first. Oh,
What?
you don't know that, Rachel?
K-pop?
Okay, check this out. Uh,
I want to hear it.
9 years ago, I
Gotta hear this now.
I was with Capital, and they told me to come with something different. So I went and understood the K-pop, and I record 2 K-pop songs. One is called "Fantastic Baby" from a band that is over there. Is like freaking Savage Garden. I don't know, like NSYNC, right? And this called "Fantastic Baby," and it was a thrill to record it because the original song has 5 singers. So I go like, yeah, I can do it by myself, right? So actually, in the press conference, they ask, "Where are the other 4 singers?" We listen to the song. I say, "No, it's just that I can sing different, guys." And it was exactly the time when the Gangnam Style came out, remember? And
Hmm.
somebody in the industry told me, this K-pop is never gonna work. How you believe that a Latino man can sing in English K-pop? You are wrong. And they cut my album. I was the radio 2 weeks. 2 weeks I was with Fantastic Baby in the radio in the States. And the A&R that it was fired, the one that got me, the other one new guy came in, and they stopped the promotion. And 5 years later, the K-pop are filling up stadiums everywhere. So I am well known in the industry for be doing things that they're gonna work in 5 years, right? So yeah, I can share with you. Wow, Fantastic Baby dance. This is really cool though. It sounds like David Guetta Gangnam Style with a cool voice of mine. So, and then I did a ballad called "I Hate This Love Song." That the name of the song is "I Hate This Love Song." I found that fantastic, and I released that music video 7 years ago, and I started using hashtags in the videos, and the people in the record label told me, why you're doing this? I go like, that's the way of communicating. So I actually got the longest hashtag, because all the hip hop part that I hip hop like shit, Meg. I wish I knew you back then so you could record that part for me. I put the hashtag and the whole thing in the video, and they told me that it was wrong, that never gonna work. Yeah. So I'm well known for doing things different, I guess. And I like it. They can fuck off. I don't care. I really don't
I
give a
like
damn.
different.
Yeah, I know. I know. Um, so next weekend we need to have a guest. So we're looking for guests, and I got a big announcement for the podcast. We're negotiating. I don't suppose to say anything. We're negotiating with a big company to sponsor the podcast. I cannot say anything about it, right? But their logo has 2 big ears, and his best friend is a dog that is the only one of the gang that actually is not dressed. Even the other guys are animals and this dressed too. I hope you guys getting what I'm saying. And
I
at
already
the end,
picked it up.
thank you. That at the end, because Rachel is still thinking.
What?
At the end of this thing, they have a plus sign. So I I I I'm really excited about that. So we're gonna start getting pretty cool guests. Um, so stay in touch, people. I know that we miss a week, but like I said, I totally apologize. Please keep listening to Megstar. You know what? I listen to your song, Destiny, all the time. It's in my playlist.
Oh, thank
I
you.
got I got my playlist is the songs that I'm doing, the covers, the originals, then my arrangement, then your song, then Remedy from Rachel, and I usually do my singing vocals warming meanwhile I'm showering or at the gym, right? So
Can you give me a sample of my song? Can you recite some of the lyrics? I'm just fucking with you.
and
Come on, let's hear
uh,
the rapping. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with
I don't understand
you. Let's do it
your
properly. Don't
rhythm.
make a
I
mockery.
silly
See,
high.
that's the easy part. The easy part is the beginning, but the third
Yeah,
verse,
when you start hip hopping, I just even can't.
hip hopping.
It's like,
When you start hip hopping,
yeah, like when I do hip hop, I can't even do that. Um, we're gonna make a song together for my new album, and I'm like trying to explain the bass player. He's like, here, Megastar gonna do no, 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 no. And he started laughing because I can't. I just can't. It's like that's my nemesis, and you know what? I'm in peace with that. I will never hip hop live. I will never. So
never say
yeah, it's
never.
no. I really choose not to. I will never. That's your job.
Okay.
That's your job.
Well, that's what I'm here for. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, it's too much for me. I just can't. And because I don't know.
I
I don't
can
know how
too.
you're meant. And this is a question for you. Uh, how you do your what is your mental process? Meanwhile, you're actually singing. Before I
What do
share
you
my
mean?
that's a tough question. What is in your mind when you're singing in the studio? It's different life. In the studio, what is in your mind? People read the lyrics in front of them. People got it from memory. People are improvising. People let it flow. What is your mental process? Let's start with you, Mac.
Well, it depends on the song. Like if it's a song that I write all my stuff out. So the process starts with the beat, and then I just put the beat on and I freestyle, and I kind of record my freestyle like on a voice memo or something, and then I take like the parts I like as far as pretty much when I'm doing that up like cadences. Even though the last song I wrote, I made a hook right off my head and that stuck. So I record it so I don't forget. Because once I do that first run through, I'll forget what I did.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like that's my tapped in, like the messages from beyond. And so I like to record that. And then I just write the song. So once I write it and I'm excited about it, because it gets me excited. When I write something, I get goosebumps or I get super pumped. I get so excited. I'm like, all right, it's time to record. I press record and I don't know, I kind of drift off into I don't know, I'm in another element, in another zone, and I just put a lot of passion into it. I can't help it. That's just what happens, and I play it back, and I get excited. If it gives me goosebumps and makes me excited, I'm down for it. So then there's parts I'm like, oh, I could punch this a little harder, or this is too light, or the cadence here. Let me make it a little more clear. But for the most part, it's pretty quick. I lay shit down pretty quick. I could if
Cool.
as long as I'm granted the time, the kids are busy or they're at school or I have a little bit of time to myself, or even if I don't have time and I just have to force it, I can come up with something pretty quickly and just I don't know, laying it down is like a spiritual experience. I've said that before. It's an out of body experience. I don't even know what's going on really. I just let it happen. I just know it makes me feel really good. And I love the running it back. I'm like, oh, wow. Yes, you
Nice.
did it again.
What about you, Rachel? What is in your mind when you're recording?
Um, Seeing as besides, so I look at it like, okay, if it is a song that is about my personal story, um, I will, I'll prepare myself emotionally ahead of time where I'll look back or I'll listen to like a song that takes, me back to that time. I'll look at pictures, I'll do something like that, and the emotions kind of come flooding back. um, because, and I'll listen back after I do a couple takes, and I'll just, try and make sure that dynamically I'm putting the right inflection and emotions on the proper phrases that I wrote intentionally to be felt on a deep level. And they can have multiple meanings to everyone, but that's what I like to do. Now, if it's for sync licensing and stuff like that, I will treat it like acting. So I'll put my mindset in the role of like, maybe I am a warrior and this is my last day on earth, and you know, I don't know. Does that make sense? Like I used to
No,
be,
no, totally. I do something similar. That
yeah,
totally makes sense. I actually do a combination of both. I attack it like a method actor. That's what I say. That sometimes even I fight with my girlfriend. If I'm doing my ex-girlfriend, if I do how you call it, a sad song, right? I go method with it. Let's put an example. When I did Black Hole Sun, that is already on every platform, we've reimagined Black Hole Sun. I actually depress myself to the point to understand the song. And what I do is I got the lyrics and repeat them like an actor, because everybody knows that I do acting too. So I memorize the lyrics. So when I'm singing, I'm not thinking about the lyrics. I'm memorizing some concern concrete with my emotions. So I project my emotions, but the text is already on me, and I go and read why the song meaning for this, what that article with the when it's a cover, what the guy say about that song in that period of his time, because a lot of artists says, well, I wrote this song because of this and this, and 10 years after they go like, well, actually it was this and this. So I do a research in every song. I do a method actor preparation, and then I finish the songs, the arrangement musically, because the musician is different than the singer for me in my brain. So it's funny because I memorize the lyrics, and it's really funny because in my mind, I'm looking at myself in front of me like a small me, right? That is in the rhythm guiding with the leg, like with the right leg, I'm in the beat, but I'm in the medley beat with my right hand. I really look a little mini me, right? That and then if I'm doing a polyrhythm, is doing the other snare, because singing in polyrhythms is complicated. And then I let my emotion. It's like my mini me guiding me in rhythm. I fucked up because of this kind of technique. I fucked up in tuning sometimes because I'm projecting emotions. So I abuse of the technology because I don't hit the perfect note. Sometimes I do, right? But the emotion is the correct, because you can fix the tuning. I'm talking about little bits of tuning, people. I'm not freaking Bad Bunny, okay? Right? I'm just talking not to perfection, but the emotion, the human emotion is not fixable. So if you listen and you put a little arrangement or attention to my voice, it's hard. If you listen, okay, I got a perfect example. We released the last song that we released as a band before we have these new members in the band, is the song Imagine. That it was just a nightmare because I'm doing the perception of Ted Bundy singing Imagine. And I need to put myself into a kid that he knows he's going to be a serial killer because he's singing as a younger kid, the one that the guy was bullied, that was abused, that he got stuttering. And I'm singing the song in a way. Steiner, the guitar player that sings the song with me, so I invite him. He sings it really beautiful. His voice sounds really good, but he doesn't sound like a fucking serial killer to be, right? So the intention is really deep. Even the way I drag the R's more with anger and the pace. So yeah, I go total method singer. I don't even
Methodical,
know
yeah.
how I'm gonna do the songs that I was telling you, because probably I will go to a hotel and withdraw myself alone for a couple of days and record the album there. Because the projection that I need for this full album is gonna be complicated. There's another song. I wish I could tell the songs. I worked this with Rachel a little bit. That the song means when the guys, and in this case, of one person of the in a couple that is done. So he feel that he's dying because he need to take this decision because all he wants what the other person, but the other person can't give that to him. So to put yourself in that feeling to sing it, you need to go method. Not because I'm doing a cover album. If you listen to my last album, Year One, I was great with my girlfriend, right? The song Torn, I wrote it for the guitar player that was going through a divorce. And the song says, after all I did for you, with you, let me hanging here alone, crying alone, away from you. Right? I was good with my girlfriend at that moment, but I need to become a stainer. And I talked to him several times about his feelings. And you listen to that song, and my girlfriend told me, this is too dark. She said, I can't listen to your album because it's too dark. And yeah, the guy that was singing was, somebody going through a divorce. So yeah, it's something that I like to do. Go full method. Crazy. But go ahead, Rachel. You really raised your hand. You can interrupt me anytime. You know
No,
that?
I need to run over here real quick. I'll be right back. Is that okay?
No, it's okay. We're saying goodbye right now.
Okay.
So yeah, we're saying goodbye right now. Sorry if I went too deep in the method thing. You see, at least it works. Everybody went. You see, it works, the method thing. Thank you, Megstar. Thank you, Rachel Black. It's been a lot of learning about the process for us and for the audience. Remember, this podcast is in YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and many other places. Please share it with your people, share it with your friends. Remember, the art is for everyone to try it and enjoy it. It's not to make money, it's to be happy. That's the new thing, right? And if you can make money with it, it's even better.
Absolutely.
Go listen to all of our music because it's great.
Yeah, stream
Yeah,
that
remember. Yeah, remember that Rachel was number 3 in metal around the world with iTunes.
Let's
Remember
go.
4, sorry, who fucking cares? 3, 4. Megstar song is hypnotizing. That's what you do with the music. And Rachel is powerful music. Go and listen to Imagine, Reimagine, original by John Lennon. New perspective from Again and Forever. Take it easy, people. See you, Meg. See you, Rachel. Peace out.
Bye.
She cooked another one.
Ayo, Romo is a beef for me, cook 'em up like hibachi. Covered off the floor, Papa Willie, Kawasaki, private jet, hop before we take 'em flooding and supporting. We put fire in the sky, now look where we started. I'm innovated, yeah, I'm so fan-guarded. Larry B, 650, daily deported. If you do not fuck with me, you must be flame retorted. Throwing his Atlanta shit, bitch, keep sparring.